How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Democrat megadonor Ed Buck, who is giving over $500,000 to big-time Democrat names like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and also current Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, which is where Ed Buck lives over in West Hollywood, very well-to-do area. The reason why I come to you today talking about him is because the second black man has been found dead in Ed Buck's apartment over the past 17 to 18 months. If you go back to 2017 in July, there was a case of Gemmel Moore, a 26-year-old black male gay escort who was found dead in Ed Buck's apartment. When the police went into his apartment, they found all types of drug paraphernalia, needles, pipes, brown residue, white residue, all types of stuff. In Gemmel Moore's journal, they found entries talking about how Ed Buck would inject him with drugs. His very last entry in the journal said that he wants to commit suicide, but he can't, so he leaves it to Ed Buck. And unfortunately, after that, he passes away in Ed Buck's apartment. I'm reading things online about Ed Buck. Apparently, this guy has a fetish for injecting young black gay males who were on the streets as escorts struggling with drugs to see how they're going to react. This is what he does. This is type things are going in Hollywood. This is a big reason why I'm against drugs, because of people like this that are going to take advantage of vulnerable people that are out there homeless, struggling with money or whatever the case may be, and use drugs to do whatever they want, to use them as toys. It's really disgusting kind of behavior, but it's not to be unexpected from the left, unfortunately. This ain't about all the left. I'm talking about the extremists over there that do things like this, like Jerry Epstein and stuff like that. But for now, I digress. To get back to Ed Buck, you have a second black man who has died in his apartment in West Hollywood, the very same apartment where Gemmel Moore died just 17 to 18 months ago. Now, we're still kind of early on in this situation here, so I can't say if the man who was found dead this time died because of drugs or because Ed Buck did it to him, but that's kind of what it's looking like. I'm not hearing about any kind of homicide investigation. What I'm reading so far says that it was an apparent overdose and it probably was another black man who died, but we don't know the ethnicity, race, or anything like that quite yet. I'm just going off of initial things from people that are in LA that kind of understand what's going on. Either way it goes, aside from the race, aside from how they passed away, you have a second person who has died in Ed Buck's apartment over the past 17 to 18 months. Now, if it were you or I, we'd most certainly be locked up right now for the very first one. If they go into your apartment after this man dies of a drug overdose and they found all types of drugs in there, I mean, obviously you were involved with the situation. Did you call the police? Like, I don't know if you called the police afterwards or whatever, but whatever the case may be, you have two men that are being dragged out of this man's apartment that are both deceased. There are calls for him to be brought up on charges for an investigation that happened. I think there will be an investigation. They may relaunch it into Gemmel Moore because, okay, you got two in less than 2 years. There's obviously a problem here. In my opinion, I believe that Ed Buck does not believe he'll go to jail or face any kind of problems. You're a big time Democrat donor. You got plenty of money, plenty of friends in high places. You feel like you're untouchable. You could do whatever you want to do. That's exactly why, again, in my opinion, you have a second black man who has died in his apartment. How many other black men that are out there homeless, part of the LGBT community, are hooked on drugs because of what Ed Buck is doing? Now, I'm not going to say that a 26-year-old can make their own mind up. I can't say that, but I can say people like Ed Buck are preying on vulnerable people for their own pleasures. It's really disgusting. It's really sick, but this is a reality of the world, especially over there in West Hollywood. You have guys like that exist. So I hope you have a thorough investigation. If there's any kind of foul play coming from Ed Buck, lock him up immediately. This is the second person. How many more men are going to die in his apartment? How many more men are going to be shot up with drugs for this man's entertainment. This is a disgusting man, regardless of what happens with the actual investigation, regardless of what they say that the death was due to him or not. That is unimportant to me and my opinion about this individual. So that is pretty much all I got to say. I wanted to bring it to your attention, but I want to hear your comments. Are you surprised at this revelation of yet another black man probably dead in Ed Buck's home in less than 2 years, talking about 17 to 18 months? Are you surprised at this? Should have been locked up from the very first time, because again, Gemmel Moore had in his diary that Ed Buck was injecting them with drugs. You found out kind of drug paraphernalia in the home, and it resulted in Gemmel Moore's death. Now you have another death. How many more bodies need to be found in this man's apartment before something is done? If it were a person on the right that's a big megadonor, like let's say it was like Steve Bannon. Imagine if Steve Bannon had 2 dead black male prostitutes dead from overdoses in his apartment in less than 2 years, 17 months. What would the reaction be from the media? What would the reaction be from law enforcement? I think it'd be much different, money or no money. Okay. You're getting into political games where people are protected because of the kind of status that they have, especially over on the left. Where is the morality from people that have gotten money from Ed Buck? Okay. Where's a statement from Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Eric Garcetti? Definitely Eric Garcetti. This happened in Los Angeles, in the same apartment in West Hollywood. Eric Garcetti is mayor of Los Angeles. Shouldn't he say something about this? Shouldn't he come up with a statement to condemn Ed Buck and denounce the monies that he's gotten from him? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.